All right. Okay, bro. What is going on, everybody? Hold on. Wait, where is that shit? Man, we're just gonna wait a little bit before we start talking about the World Cup and shit. If I can manage to not fuck it up, right? Man, I should have read these fucking messages when. Let me see what this one says. All right. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, as promised, I deliver. Um, we are going to review the World Cup third place playoff game on Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and and we're also going to be. Hold on, somebody just messaged. Um, Hold on. Man, I was not ready for this shit. What the fuck? All right, man. All right, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the World Cup semifinal, the events that took place both yesterday and today. We're also going to be going over that third place playoff game on Saturday. Like I said, we're going to be mainly talking about the final on Sunday at the same time, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, adjust for whatever time zone you happen to be or you happen to find yourself in, whether you're traveling or not. Um, right off the bat, I can just tell you that um, after today, I will wait until Sunday to make another video um, to talk about pretty much everything that happened during this World Cup, the good, the bad, the surprises, the disappointments, but above all, the positive impact that the World Cup has all over the world, not only between players, but between countries. Because after all, it is the World Cup, and every country that qualifies is more than deserving to be there, regardless of who you may cheer for or whoever you like. So, with that being said, let's talk about football. All right. So, uh, yesterday we saw a semifinal play between Argentina and Croatia, with Argentina advancing to the World Cup final after defeating Croatia 3-0. This penalty kick that was awarded to Argentina, to me, besides the fact that I was rooting for Croatia, I don't think that is a penalty kick, just due to the fact that if you think about it from a logical and sensible point of view, you have to understand that if ever, if ever you in football, if you ever cut the path or if you ever get in the path of a player, regardless of who you are, that's called obstruction. All right. And how the fuck is a goalkeeper supposed to come off his line to attack a ball that is being sort of driven your way by an attacker of the opposing team? How the fuck are you supposed to stop? The guy ran into the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper had every single right to go and fight for the ball. At the end, he touched the ball off to the side of the keeper. Okay, they were already there. He touched the ball to the side, to the one side of the keeper, the left side of the keeper, and then they clashed. That's not a foul by the keeper. All right, he was gonna play the ball, and the guy touched it at the last second. That is not a foul. All right, that's an obstruction, which would have been a indirect free kick inside of the area, inside of the box, which have happened before in the past. So I don't think, and we'll talk about other stuff that happened too. I don't think that should have been a penalty kick. But above all, not to take credit away from Argentina, but rather to talk about Croatia. I will say this: Croatia did not. I didn't see them play with the same intensity, the same sort of like physical presence and mentality that they had against Japan and against Brazil in the quarterfinals. So Croatia, to me, Croatia was not a letdown. All right, even if the Croatians would have played like shit, it wouldn't have been a letdown because I'm a fan regardless of how they play. Now that doesn't mean that I will not criticize the way they play. I mean, after all, constructive criticism is what drives success, and not only at a World Cup but in real life. So if people, if entities, if teams, if conglomerates, if any sort of association anywhere does not accept constructive criticism, they will never succeed. This is just something that it's not true because I say it. It's true because it's actually fucking true. So with that being said, I don't think that Croatia played with the same intensity physically and mentally as they did versus Japan and Brazil. That's just the way I feel. Even though the possession of the ball says otherwise, the amount of passes say otherwise. Especially I think it was the second goal, right? The second goal by Argentina was off a free kick, and this is where I think Croatia sort of shot themselves in the foot, right? The second goal, the penalty, I don't think that should have been a penalty. I think that should have been called an obstruction, and that should have been an indirect free kick inside of Croatia's big box. So, with that being said, the second goal, it was off a corner that Croatia won against Argentina, right? And they played the ball short and they lost it off a deflection of an Argentinian. It was a counterattack. Um, the striker sort of had a little bit of luck with all the bouncing of the ball and him not going down on the run. I don't think that goal was meant to be executed the way it was by the Argentinian player. I think it's one of those lucky goals that he doesn't even know how it happened. He's just glad that it happened. So the first two goals conceded by Croatia, one being a penalty kick and one being from open play or from a set piece of play. Uh, were the Argentinians deserving of either one? I don't think so. The last goal by Argentina from open play by Messi, that was a good goal. Messi went around the defender, but if you see the defender, like I think it was Dejan Lovren, I think that he was a bit concerned. I don't want to say afraid because fear is not something you feel during a football match. It's just not. I used to play, and I didn't play professionally or anything like that. It was just a Sunday league, but nonetheless, it wasn't fear that I felt. It was more of caution, and I think that the Croatian defender was way too cautious to press Messi, and he just went around him. Like he was just standing there like a post. So it was a good goal. It was a really great goal from, like I said, from open play by Messi, and then he cut it back to Alvarez, and all he had to do was just tap it in between the Croatian legs. So, with that being said, I don't want to take anything away from Argentina, but I will say this. Congratulations to Argentina for making it to the final. I still don't think that Argentina has faced tough opposition. All right? Croatia was going to be their test, but Croatia did not show up to play. So, therefore, what can I say about Croatia, right? I mean, just look at the numbers. Croatia did more, and that's just a fact. Um, but they couldn't create the chances on target. So, and that's going to affect you. There was nobody in Croatia that could finish it off. Once Croatia got past the midfield, there was nobody up there. So that really hurt the Croatians by not being able to create chances when Argentina, found themselves with a lead of 2 goals, right? So did Croatia create some chances? Yeah, here and there, but the shots on target were only 2 versus 7 that the Argentinians had. So again, Croatia, I don't think Croatia showed up mentally or physically to play the semifinal yesterday. And, well, the result is right there. They will now face Morocco Saturday for that third place playoff. And I will reveal why I was rooting for Croatia. Um, I know I've been saying this for a minute, but let's just take a drink of water. Um, so when I was, and this is the reason why I support Croatia and have been doing so since 1998. I was 10 years old at the time. I was 10 years old at the time, and it was 1998, the summer of 1998, when the World Cup happened in France. Um, I was already in love with Real Madrid. I was already in love with Zidane. I was already in love with the French national team, and so on and so forth. However, going into the World Cup of 1998, there was talks about the Croatian team, right? How they were progressing through the group stage, the round of 16, the quarterfinals, and how they met France in the semifinals. And they actually went ahead because of a huge mistake by Lilian Thuram, who in the same game sort of like redeemed himself by scoring 2 goals. So it was his fault that Croatia scored in that semifinal in 1998, and it was also his redemption during the game because he scored 2 goals. One was sort of like Julian Alvarez goal, where he took the ball and sort of like attacked um, the Croatian goal, and he actually ended up scoring. It was a fantastic goal. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go ahead and YouTube it. Search 1998 semifinal between France and Croatia, and you will see what I'm talking about. His name is Lilian Thuram. He was a central defender for France. Ultimately, they would be champions that year, and they would be champions 2 years later in the Euro Cup in Holland, Belgium, I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or Holland, I can't remember who hosted. I think yeah, it was Holland, right? Was the Euro Cup 2000 hosted by Holland or Belgium? I can't fucking remember, man. But it was one of the two countries, all right. It was in that general area of Europe. Anyways, so and like I told you, like I've been giving out clues as to why I support Croatia. I was already a Real Madrid supporter at the time, and Davor Suker was the striker for Croatia. This guy was incredible. Davor Suker had this spark about him being a striker, where he could finish it off any way he could, right? So he just captivated the imagination, my imagination at the time. I was 10 years old. The way he moved, the way he was creating opportunity by playing with his back against the goal, playing facing the goal. The guy was a complete striker, Davor Sucker. He was a complete striker. He was purchased, and this sounds weird, but he was purchased as a player by Real Madrid. And I just, it's one, it's one of those things that you watch a game and you see a player and you're captivated by the way they play. It's not that they're doing something that is incredible or that you have never seen before, but it's how smart they play. That captivates my imagination. All right. The same way that I can see a Ferrari, right? And you go, fuck, that's a Ferrari. But then you see a Lamborghini, and then you see Porsche, and then you see, a Viper, and then you see a Corvette, and you start to realize that Ferrari is not the only beautiful supercar in the world. There are more. And because of the fact that there are differences between these beautiful things, you learn to appreciate each and every one in its own aspect, right? So that's what happened to me with Croatia. I saw the way that they were playing. I saw the way that they played against France in the semifinal. So with that being said, ever since then, I've been a fan of Croatia. Um, they didn't qualify for 2002, the World Cup in Korea, Japan. They did qualify for Germany 2006. I want to say that they also qualified for 2010, South Africa 2014, obviously 18. You know what happened? They made it all the way to the final versus France, which they would lose 4-2. And now they make it to the 2022 World Cup semifinal against where they fell against Argentina. Nonetheless, I will continue to support my Croatian people, not only as a footballing nation but as a state. Um, I have nothing but respect for Croatia. I think that they have a fantastic group of players, very talented. Um, it is not the end of the road for Croatia. It is not the end of Croatia just because Luka Modric will not play another World Cup. No, they will continue to be successful. All right, and I wish nothing but the best on Saturday for Croatia against Morocco, um, and that is the reason why I support Croatia. Um, Furthermore, um, like I said, I don't think Croatia showed up with the same mentality and physicality that they did versus Brazil and Japan. And well, there you have it. Again, I don't think Argentina has faced tough opposition as of yet. As of yet, they have not faced any opposition. They just haven't. They have not faced a single world champion. And that's going to play a very important role in a final. If you want to be champion, if you want to win the World Cup, you have to face at least one world champion on the way there. If you don't, historically speaking, if you don't face a world champion on your way to be champions, you will not be champions. All right? And for those motherfuckers that were saying, and I've heard a bunch of fuckers say, "Oh, I want Argentina and Morocco to be in the in the final." Go suck a dick. That's all I got to say to the stupid motherfuckers like that. Go eat a dick. You know, Morocco was becoming a fucking pest at the World Cup. To think that Morocco would be in the final was just fucking stupid, right? To think that Morocco would make it to the fucking final against France, it was just fucking stupid. I told you. And don't give me that shit either of, oh, fucking Morocco created a bunch of opportunities and shit. Who gives a fuck? France created more and actually score. At the end of at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter how many opportunities you create. Is can you fucking put them away? Whether it's through luck with the first two goals by Argentina, or whether it's through open play like the third goal that was legitimate by Argentina. All right. But they were right there. Who gives a fuck if you were right there? That's like saying, oh, this fucking guy swam across the fucking Pacific Ocean, but he drowned 5 feet from shore. Okay, like the fact that he swam across the ocean doesn't mean shit if he fucking drowned 5 feet away from shore. So, with that being said, like I said, to me, Morocco was nothing but a fucking pest at the World Cup. That's all they were. A fucking pest that just got lucky against Spain, an inexperienced Spain. Portugal depended on one man and one man only, and he couldn't do it either. And they beat him because of a mistake by the goalkeeper. Nobody can fucking tell me that Morocco outplayed Portugal during that game. It was a fucking mistake by the keeper that costed Portugal a World Cup semifinal spot. Besides the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo was benched. So, in Argentina, again, has not faced any real opposition. They just haven't faced any real opposition. You think that France is gonna fucking throw away the final versus Argentina? Suck a dick, like I said before. Now, moving on to the second semifinal that took place today. Morocco versus France. I've said it with confidence 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Morocco falls against France. I wanted Croatia to repeat a final versus France, but that's you don't always get what you want, right? So therefore, we'll see a final between France and Argentina. The French today, Theo Hernandez's goal in the 5th minute, it was a beauty. it was a beauty because of the technique, because of the difficulty under pressure, the keeper. So with that being said, Morocco, people are saying, oh, Morocco this, Morocco that. Morocco nothing. Okay, Morocco nothing. They made it to the semifinal. That's as good as they were. All right, and like I said, I don't know why people think that. I don't think that what I don't know why people think that Morocco. I mean, who do they fucking left behind? Like I said, Spain inexperienced, Portugal one man team, mistake by the keeper. So you want to call that a run to the semifinal? Go ahead, call it. Look what happened today. Even if they would have been standing underneath the goalkeeper and protecting every single angle of the goalie, France would have still scored. France would have still scored. And the only reason why France didn't score more is because they didn't want to. You could tell. If you're smart enough, if your brain functions properly, you could tell during the game and by the way that France was playing that France had everything under control at all times, even when Morocco was attacking. Look at the way that Antoine Griezmann played. This motherfucker cleared more goals, or I'm sorry, more balls from his goal area than any of the central defenders that France had. So I don't see how Argentina, player to player, on a player to player comparison, I don't see how Argentina is better than France. I just don't see it. I just don't fucking see Argentina being better than France. France already went through um, a world champion, which was um, England. And I've told you, I'm not just making this shit up today, right now. I said whoever wins the game between France and England will be the next world champion. Will be the next world champion. And and look, it turned out to be true. Okay, so with that being said, I was speaking based off being a fan. I wasn't. How easy could it be to just say, oh, my favorite fucking World Cup contenders this year are Germany and Brazil and Argentina and England and France? How easy it is to pick champions? How is it? How easy is it? Very easy, you know what I mean? Like, but when you pick against the champions, you have that room to lose, and it's okay to lose, right? Because I was picking based on how I felt as a fan. This sort of like World Cup could have been easily picked by the numbers, but what's the point of picking by the numbers when passion is your drive? This is about passion. It's not about numbers, right? Because look at this shit today. France, 38% possession. France had 38% possession of the ball and scored twice. The amount of shots, they're the same. The amount of shots on target, they're the same. But look who was converting the shots. Like I said, line by line, France has the best squad in the World Cup. Okay? Argentina have not faced anybody that has challenged their defense like Mbappe fucking destroyed Morocco today. Because that's what he did. And so did Dembele. So did Griezmann. Giroud. France is going forward. The midfield, France is unstoppable. They just have too much talented people. And to say that Argentina can trade blows with France on a one-to-one basis, it's just fucking stupid. And I don't know why anybody would think such a thing. So let me just say that Morocco, Cinderella story, sure, but to who? Only the Africans. It ain't, nobody else is saying shit about Morocco. Did they make it far? Yeah, they did. But against who? The same can be said about Argentina. Oh, Argentina is in the World Cup final. Oh my fucking God, Lionel Messi is the GOAT, blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up, man. They fucking played Australia. They played a shitty ass Netherlands, and they played a defeated, depleted, and physically and mentally um, exhausted Croatia. So, okay, fine. Argentina's in the final, but France will go ahead and beat Argentina on Sunday. I would say on a scoreline of what, 3-1, 3-0. Just mark my words. Argentina will not score twice against France. They'll only score once, maybe, but France will fucking beat Argentina on Sunday. Um, we are gonna go ahead and end it all with the following: Argentina, France in the final. France takes it. Um, that's got to be a fucked up situation, right, between Mbappe and Messi, because one of them is gonna lift the trophy and the other one will end his career by losing another World Cup final. And that's just the way it is. Another factor that we have to also include in the game between France and Argentina for Sunday will be the following. France more than, let me see, who are going to be starting the final game on Sunday that were 4 years ago in the final as well. It'll be Mbappe, it'll be Giroud, it'll be Griezmann, their goalkeeper Lloris, and let me see, Mbappe, Giroud, Griezmann, Lloris, and one more player, I think. So, once again, Argentina have not faced anybody that attacks the goalie like Mbappe does. They have not faced a striker that puts him away the way Giroud does. They have not faced somebody that breaks play and creates play like Antoine Griezmann does. Or like Dembele. Dembele is gonna be a fucking headache. The guy loves high pressure games and he has the talent to handle them. The same way that Mbappe has the talent to challenge Argentina. The last time they faced, it was in the 2018 World Cup round of 16, where Argentina got three very lucky goals. And I say that with all confidence. That game should have ended 4-0 to the French, but it is what it. Well, not lucky goals. The goal by Di Maria was actually pretty good, but Hugo Lloris I think could have done more because the distance between where Di Maria took the shot against the French that day was actually quite far away. So you know, it's all it's all the way you see it, I guess. Um, Dembele and his injuries, well, you know what though, that's not even worth bringing it up because he's not injured right now, and that's what matters. You know what I mean? So there's no point in bringing that up, bro. That's just the way I feel about it. Dembele is playing fantastically. Griezmann, have you seen? Just look at today. Just review the game from today, and you will see what I mean with Griezmann. The guy will break down Argentina's gameplay. He has the speed. He has the motivation, and the fact that Didier Deschamps, France's coach, is letting him. Sort of like right now, what I see Griezmann doing is what Thomas Müller from Germany does. He's kind of a floater up there. He can play playmaker. He can play a number 10. He can play defensively. He can break up play. He can create chances. So Griezmann will be a very critical piece for the game on Sunday. Mbappe is Mbappe. Mbappe will destroy Argentina's defense. They haven't been tested, they haven't faced a challenge, and I'll get to the point that I was trying to make. Argentina, there is only, let me see, Messi was there in 2014, Otamendi was there in 2014, and I can't remember who else was there in the final in 2014 that they lost against Germany. Um, that's it. They don't have World Cup final experience. And I don't know if you believe in this or not, but um, experience in a World Cup final is a huge, it's a huge advantage. Mbappe has been here, Giroud has been here, Griezmann, Dembele, even though he didn't play in that final, he was there in 2018. Lloris was there. So, oh, Di Maria was there, but I don't think he's gonna play in this final, bro. So that's just the way I see it. Um, he didn't even get to play yesterday. So when they were up 3-0, or did he? I don't think he did. I don't know. It was Dybala that came in on the 80th minute or some shit like that when the game was already, put away and shit. Um, I don't see Di Maria playing in this World Cup final. If he does, he will be a weak link for Argentina. Um, he's just, Di Maria is a playmaker, man. He doesn't really defend that much. He's not as fast, but he is a playmaker. So if I was me, I would not play Di Maria in this final, just because of the fact that there are better players in Argentina than Di Maria at the moment. I'm not saying he's bad. There are just better players right now, and age for Di Maria is a factor. So there you go. Now, other than that, um, I will be rooting for. Yeah, exactly. He only played against the Netherlands a sub in extra time. I will be rooting for France. Allez, allez, les bleus. Right? I have been a fan of the French national team since 1996, 5-ish. I want to say when I was what, fucking 7 years old. Yeah, I was 7 at the time when I first. You want to know what game made me fall in love with France? It was a friendly against Brazil in '96 where Roberto Carlos scored that unbelievable free kick with his left foot that went outside of the wall, and it took a major curve inside, hit the post. Wait, did it hit the post? Yeah, I think it hit the post, and it went inside. It was the most beautiful goal ever. So I've been a fan of French national team since '96. I already knew about Zidane uh, when he was at Juventus in '96, '97, '98, before he went to Real Madrid in 2000. Um, I was already a fan. Um, the 98 was what completely made me fall in love with Zidane. To me, he is the greatest player of all time. He is number one to me. You may have your own, you may have your own perceptions about who is the best, but to me, Zinedine Zidane is the best. He's a magician. The way he moves the ball, the way he creates chances and opportunities. Zidane has a understands the game on such a simple, I guess you can say, base, that everything he does, he just makes it look simple, makes it look almost like you could do it, but you know damn well that if you were in the same situation, you would always make the wrong decision. So, um, with that being said, I supported France in '98, Euro 2000, the failure of 2002 in South Korea when they didn't even make it past the group stage. Also, um, when he retired in 2003 and 2004, I think it was 2003, 2004, and then he was called back up. It was Fabien Barthez who was the goalkeeper in '98 for France and 2000 for the Euro Cup. It was Lilian Thuram. It was Patrick Vieira, and it was Zidane that were all called out of retirement for the 2006 World Cup. And look at what they did. What happened in the final versus Italy with Materazzi versus Zidane. I still support Zidane. Some people will fucking say that, oh, he costed, it was because of him that France don't have a third world title. Well, you don't know that. All right? And remember, I'm a fan of the French national team. And even I can say that, even if Zidane would have stayed on the field, you just don't know what would have happened next. There's no way of knowing. So, like I said, um, in 2010, again, 2008 was another failure of France at the Euros. 2010, I don't even want to talk about France. It was a complete fucking disaster. 2014 they got knocked out by Germany 1-0. I think it was a goal by Mats Hummels in the quarterfinals. 2018, of course, you know they became world champions for their second time in their history. Um, and 2022, you know, they're gonna be world champions for a third time. Um, I have no doubt in my mind that France will lift the trophy on Saturday. That fucking stupid motherfucker. On Sunday, I mean. Let me see here. What's being said in the chat? Betty says you love these little reviews. Well, you know, it's all in the eye of the beholder. I'm not doing this for popularity. I'm doing this because out of passion. I still appreciate the comment though. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, I hope that is a good game by France. I don't see them cracking under pressure. I don't see them crumbling and just losing, throwing away the World Cup. I do see Argentina being heavily challenged and not knowing what to do. I do see that. I know there are a lot of Argentinian supporters out there who were wishing that it was Argentina and Morocco. So what? So they were wishing that it was Argentina and Morocco so that Argentina could just win an easy World Cup. Fuck you, suck a dick again. You know what I mean? Like, bro, champions deserve champions. All right? Uh, you know, let's just, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and put my fan side aside. Champions deserve champions the same way that lions deserve to fight other lions. You know, like it would have been an easy World Cup win for Argentina if Morocco would have been in the final. What the fuck were Morocco gonna do against Argentina in the final? Defend, defend. Is that really what the fuck do you think Morocco was going to do in the final? Heavily defend against Argentina? No, it would have been a terrible final. It would have been a boring final. So, with that being said, France takes it 3-0, 3-1 against Argentina on Sunday. The game between Croatia and Morocco, I'm still going to root for my Croatians, and I'll answer that question in the chat in like 2 seconds um, about the Ballon d'Or for Mbappe. I think Croatia will defeat Morocco by not by much. I think the game is going to end up like 1-0 to Croatia. You know, if Morocco wins, shit, congratulations to Morocco, although I don't see it happening because during these games is when the coaches usually put in all of the players that didn't get a chance to play in the World Cup. And even though you know third place is still very important at a World Cup, it's the losers' game. You know, unfortunately, there's no other way of saying it. It is the losers' game. Um, Second place is the first loser. Third place and fourth place, nobody remembers those motherfuckers. That's just the way it is. You know, and it is Croatia that I'm talking about here. So make your own, make your own mind about what I'm saying and your own predictions. Okay, so now to answer some of the chat questions and comments. Do you think, well, is the question for me or is the question for Adam? Because it seems like Adam and Betty are going back and forth here talking about some shit. And I'll read the comments in just a second here. Alright, so the question in the chat was, do you think Mbappe will win the Ballon d'Or if he wins the World Cup? It will depend. It will depend. It will heavily depend. Because back in 2018 when France defeated Croatia, the Ballon d'Or winner wasn't French. It was Luka Modric. But at the same time, Luka Modric had won the Champions League against Liverpool in Ukraine in Kiev against Liverpool. So and he also made it to the final. So it will be heavily dependent on what they do for the rest of the season, the Ballon d'Or, because the next Ballon d'Or will be handed out next November or September or whatever, October or whenever they do it, right? So between now and then, winning the World Cup, if Mbappe wins the World Cup with France, well, I shouldn't say it like that. If France wins the World Cup with Mbappe, because it is a team effort, okay? No single player has ever given anybody a World Cup. No, it was always a team effort. So if France wins the World Cup with Mbappe, he will be a he will be, depending on what he does, what he does in the final, he will be a major contender for the Ballon d'Or in about 10 months. A heavy contender. But what will assure that Kylian Mbappe wins the Ballon d'Or will be the Champions League, right? It will be the Champions League, which will restart in February of 2023. And who is PSG gonna go against in the round of 16? I know that Real Madrid we drew Liverpool, and we're gonna knock out Liverpool. I know that for a fact because they're not doing good in the EPL, so in the English Premier League. Um, so help me out here, so we can keep the conversation sort of going. Who is PSG facing in the round of 16 of the Champions League? Because with the World Cup, I kind of forgot about the Champions League and pretty much everything else. So I'm not even gonna like try to, and I can look it up, but I don't want to like open up new windows and other shit because I got some personal stuff going on. So, well, like in the search that, like I said, it's not porn, right? Don't think that is porn. Like, like Wild doesn't want to open up a new window because he's got porn all over the place. Like, bro, people who watch porn, bro, like, are the funny, bro. If you okay, off topic, right? If you ever want to fucking laugh, go to a porn site and then go to the comment section. Oh my fucking god, bro! Like the comment section in porn sites, it's the funniest shit ever. Like, just read some of those fucking comments, man. People are fucked up, man. People who watch porn, I'm not saying porn is bad. That's not what I'm saying. But people who watch porn and actually comment, like in those websites, it's fucking hilarious. It is fucking hilarious. Yeah, yeah. Type P. All you're gonna hear is porn. Nah, bro. Yeah, exactly right. No, it's not porn. It's actually work-related stuff that you know. I don't want to just disclose in a fucking live stream. Um, because first of all, you guys don't fucking care about it, and second of all, why the fuck should you learn about my job? You know what I mean? Like, I'm an electrical engineer. That's what I am. That's it. That's all you need to know. Um, so okay, so PSG drew Bayern Munich against. Oh wait, not against. They drew against Bayern Munich. Okay, so I think that Bayern Munich will knock out PSG, and this is why I think that Bayern Munich will knock out PSG. Right? Um, the mental, the heavy mental loss of Neymar and the heavy mental loss of Messi will have a snowball effect in PSG. And PSG are not going to lose the champions, or they're not going to lose the Champions League matches against Bayern Munich in the round of 16 because of Mbappe. They will lose the round of 16 matchup against Bayern Munich, or not Bayern Munich. I'm going to try to say like the Germans say it. Bayern Munich. Fucking Germans, man. I love those motherfuckers. Um, they'll lose it because of the mental state of Messi and Neymar after they got knocked out by Croatia and after Mbappe wins the World Cup with France on Sunday against Argentina. So that will have a heavy, heavy, heavy um, influence in how PSG will be mentally and physically set up for the rest of the season. Now, who else will be in the talks of the Ballon d'Or for next year? I don't know, but based off whatever happens in the Premier League and based off whatever happens in La Liga in Spain or in the Bundesliga in Germany or in Serie A in Italy or the Eredivisie in Holland or whatever Super League you want to take from Europe's top countries. I think that Erling Haaland will challenge Mbappe for next year's Ballon d'Or, depending on what they do in the Champions League. All right. Now, if Manchester City, I don't think that Manchester City um, will be an easy contender in this Champions League because of Erling Haaland. That Norwegian, I don't like Manchester City. I don't like Manchester City, but I'm in love with Erling Haaland. As a footballer, he is just overpowered. His height, the way he runs, the way he finishes the plays, the way he scores the goals. Erling Haaland will challenge Kylian Mbappe for the Ballon d'Or next year, and he's the only person that I can think of right now that can do that. Unless Real Madrid can defend the title once again, then they can send the player into the discussion of who should win the Ballon d'Or. But winning the World Cup alone, to me, is not merit enough to win you a Ballon d'Or. It's just not. I'm just gonna keep it real. It's just not, because if that was the case, if that was the case, um, Mbappe should have won it in 2018, right? So a World Cup win does not necessarily guarantee you a Ballon d'Or. It's just not the way it is. Remember, the World Cup, as big as it is, it's only a 7 game tournament. You're guaranteed to play 3 games in the group stage. And then if you're any good or talented, you will play 4 more. And out of those 4 more, one can be a third place playoff. So you can play 7 games at a World Cup and still be only third place. And it's because of the fact that oh, this guy right here, I want to talk about him. What's his name right here that I'm pointing at with my mouse? Matuidi. He's no longer in the French national team. He was a fantastic midfielder. I really liked the way Matuidi played when he was in Europe. I think now he's in the MLS. I think here in America. But anyways, long story short, Mascherano is over here. Ball-headed motherfucker. Pavard scored a fantastic goal right here behind Mbappe during that game. Pavard was scored a beauty of a goal, the same way that Di Maria did. A volley. Well, Di Maria was more of a laser shot, but whatever. Um, so with that being said, who is in the contention for next year's Ballon d'Or? Depending on how Real Madrid handled their scandal versus Liverpool, they can send the player in there. Depending on how PSG does against Bayern Munich, they can send Kylian Mbappe into the discussion for a Ballon d'Or just because he will win the World Cup on Sunday. Like, and I know what you guys are thinking probably. Oh, why you should not be so sure about France winning the World Cup on Sunday? Well, fuck you. That's all I gotta say. Fuck you. Go tell somebody else your bullshit. Because if you're not sure of anything in life, then why the fuck are you alive? You gotta be sure of shit, even if you lose. Lose with some fucking pride. If I eat shit because of the things I'm saying on Sunday, you think I'm not gonna do a review? I'm still gonna be here talking shit. But I'm gonna lose with confidence because I support the French national team. So with that being said, it's okay if I eat shit on Sunday. Like, I won't be happy, but I will lose knowing that I supported the teams I supported fully. I'm not jumping ship like a lot of motherfuckers do. You know what I mean? They quit one team to go to another to look for success. Like, who the fuck does that? You know what that tells me? You have no backbone. You don't know how to lose. You're just jumping, from one place to another to be successful. And if that is what you're doing, you're not a successful person. What you are is just somebody who takes advantage of a situation, right? So if I do lose, and I'm sure I won't, so be it. But world champions deserve to play world champions in a final. Nobody wants to see Morocco, man. I mean, I wanted to see Croatia, and they're not world champions, but they could be contenders. There's a difference between not being worthy of being in the World Cup final and being contenders, right? So make your own conclusions about that. Adam says that France got the experience. Yeah, they do. They have a good mixture of young players and good players. Yes, they do. Um, Chouameni was playing phenomenal. That guy is the future of Real Madrid's midfield alongside Eduardo Camavinga. So it's going to be a very tough match on Sunday for both teams. Um, but other than that, I just do not see Argentina beating France in the final. I just don't. They have not faced anybody tough because, like I said, they just haven't. Nobody has tested the Argentinians. The 2 goals that were conceded by Argentina to the Netherlands, uh, they looked tired. Argentina looked very tired. You know what I mean? And I don't know why Holland couldn't put the game away during extra time, but that's besides the point. The what if, the shoulda, coulda, woulda, the shoulda, coulda, woulda doesn't really fucking exist. Um, yeah, exactly. Croatia, it's lacking, good strikers, but hey, man, it is what it is, right? Like, we're not gonna get stuck, in what could have been, right? The shoulda, coulda, woulda. That shit is just, that's nonsense. I should have been born a millionaire. How about that? Yeah, there you go. See, same rules apply. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Um, so other than that, do I think it's gonna be a fun game? Yeah, for the French. Like, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Um, so congratulations to both teams for making it to the final. France will lift the title. Paris is going to go crazy, and so will all the French around the world. Vive la France! Long live the French Federation of Football. And kill him, Mbappe. So, yeah, that is my review of what happened today and yesterday at the World Cup. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed our little talk. Um, and I'll be back on Sunday to make one final video about this fantastic World Cup in Qatar 2022. We'll review the World Cup as a whole. We'll review the good things, the bad things, and the ugly things because there's always a little bit of each in every World Cup. But yeah, allez les bleus, allez les bleus, allez les bleus, allez les bleus. Vive la France. Oui, oui, Messi. We're gonna stick a baguette up Messi's ass. That's what we're gonna do, okay? You can find the biggest fucking baguette, and let it just sit in the sun, let it get hard, and we're gonna stick it up his ass. That fucking midget think he's gonna win the World Cup. Fuck you, motherfucker. Eat a dick, Messi, and every one of your fucking supporters. And I leave you with that because I don't want to hear what you got to say about me now. Fuck you all. Let's go, France. Biba la France. Allez, allez, les bleus. See you guys later. I hope you have a good night, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys on Sunday, all right? Win or lose, I will be here on Sunday, all right? So take care, you guys. Take it in good spirit, all right? Take it in good spirit. It's all good, man. This is football. Let's just enjoy it, all right? I hope you guys can all watch the World Cup on Sunday. History will be made with Mbappe lifting his second World Cup. Back to back, baby. Allez, allez, les bleus. Vive la France.